Folks, I am not Mayor Huther, but it is my privilege and my honor to stand in for the mayor. He will be joining us. He's just running a little bit late this evening. He had another engagement earlier today. So please bear with me. I'm kind of a newbie at this. That being said, we'll call this meeting to order and have a roll call vote, please. Denise.
Councilmember Sue Aguilar.
Here.
Councilmember Kenny Anderson Jr.
Here.
Councilmember Jim Entman.
Here.
Councilmember Michelle Erpenbach.
Here.
Councilmember Greg J.
Here.
Councilmember Dean Karski.
Here.
Councilmember Rex Rolfing.
Here.
And Councilmember Kermit L. Staggers.
Present.
Thank you, councilors. It is my honor to introduce our invocator this evening, Pastor Pat McClanahan, with the Common Ground Church. And for those of you that aren't aware, the Common Ground Church is in the lower level of the Gorley Building at 400 North Main. Following the invocation, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance. Pastor, please all rise.
You bow your heads with me and bring your hearts before an almighty God. Father, we come to you this evening. We gather, these people gather every week. They take their time and their efforts, and we ask, Lord, that you would be with them in this. We are told that we need to ask for wisdom, so I ask for wisdom in this city, Lord, for these people that are governing the city. And Father, I also ask that as they meet and discuss tonight, that we would be mindful of the tragedy that has occurred in the Philippines with the storm, the loss of life and the significant devastation that has occurred there. And let us remind ourselves and be thankful for what we do have here, even in the midst of the oncoming winter. Father, we thank you for the opportunity to meet together as our government allows us. And we thank you for the opportunity to call upon your name in these meetings and ask for your presence. Go before us and go with us and shine a light on the path in the glorious name of his Son. Amen and amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next on our agenda is the recognition awards this evening for the Mayor's Beautification Awards, and it's really my honor to sit on these. These are really cool. Russ Sorensen, please.
Good evening, Chairman, members of the council. It's my privilege to introduce to you Terry Engelbretson, who represents Sioux Falls Beautiful. He'll announce the award winners.
Council members and guests, good evening. In the 1990s, public meetings of a community planning initiative called Sioux Falls Tomorrow provided a forum to discuss ways and means for community beautification. In June 1997, Dr. Thomas Killian assembled a board of 7 volunteer members, and Sioux Falls Beautiful was born. In March 1999, it became a private, nonprofit corporation. Sioux Falls Beautiful has a vision that Sioux Falls be the most attractive place possible to live and work. Sioux Falls Beautiful's mission is to beautify and improve the outdoor environment of all areas of the community, enhance the landscape of the city through the creation of attractive new and existing public sites and spaces, promote the liberal use of color and light in public spaces, and encourage attractive plantings and green areas. Sioux Falls Beautiful has been involved with project endeavors such as the development of the Mary Jo Wagner Arboretum, Arrowhead Park, and involvement with various tree plantings within the city, and recent offers to assist Pettigrew Heights and Whittier neighborhoods with their green and beautification efforts. Sioux Falls Beautiful wants to encourage Sioux Falls citizens of all ages to put forth green efforts to beautify our city so that Sioux Falls continues to be the most attractive place possible to live and work. Sioux Falls Beautiful recognizes the beautifications and properties of many of our city's citizens and neighborhoods and public spaces by sending the owner or owners a recognition postcard in the mail. Sioux Falls citizens can also identify and recognize beautiful yards by like on Facebook and send recognition via social media. At this time, I am pleased to announce and present the 2013 Sioux Falls Beautification Awards to, for the residential award winner is Mary Selvig, 312 East 19th Street. Her nominators said that this yard is a beautiful landmark on East 19th Street. Mary's property is tiny by today's standards, yet she has created a beautiful cottage-style garden on every side of the house. She has skillfully blended unique evergreens, hardy perennials, and spots of annuals for summer accents on her property. Her garden is a work of art, not surprising considering she is an artist of considerable talent. Thank you, Mary Selvig, for making Sioux Falls beautiful. The next award is the non-residential public space. And the award winner is the Big Sioux River Greenway downtown. And accepting this award will be Steve Metley, former Director of Planning and Building Services, and Don Kearney, Director of Parks and Recreation. These are the words of the nominator. The Big Sioux River Greenway downtown has fostered a renewed sense of enthusiasm, garnered additional community engagement, and elevated the city's profile. As a cyclist stopping often and having attended several events, I have witnessed significant use of the connectivity and space. Offering a well-designed place for families and recreationalists, the project is a beacon for activity. As a host of guest professionals from across the United States and around the world, I will also vouch for the project's impact toward positive impressions of our city. In recruiting, the project demonstrates the city's commitment to well-designed, mixed-use public space for individuals and families, end quote. As a visionary community leader and being a major force behind the Big Sioux River Greenway project and other city landmarks, thank you, Steve Metley, for making Sioux Falls beautiful. Also, thank you, Mayor Huther and Don Kearney, for picking up the lighted torch and carrying it forward to ensure our Big Sioux River Greenway is greener and cleaner and accessible to all Sioux Falls citizens and visitors. Thank you, City of Sioux Falls, for making the Sioux Falls Big Sioux River Greenway downtown beautiful. And the Community Beautification Leader Organization Award winner is Pettigrew Heights Neighborhood Association, and accepting will be Susan Randall and Catherine Henning, the co-coordinators of the project. And if there are other association members, please stand and be recognized. The Pettigrew Heights Neighborhood Association is a true community beautification leader, having made significant changes to the piece of land located at 11th Street and Grange Avenue in central Sioux Falls. This area, a large piece of right-of-way owned by the City of Sioux Falls, has been accented by Harry Klesson's sculpture entitled Obtuse for a number of years. In order to beautify the neighborhood and create a gathering place in the area, neighborhood volunteers planted native perennial switchgrass and blue stem plants along the perimeter of the right-of-way. Wood mulch from the efforts of Operation Timber Strike was placed around the sculpture's base and was also used around the plantings to provide a barrier for weeds. In addition, 5 large Sioux quartzite rocks were placed near the art for both visual enhancement and for seating. Through the process, neighbors met and became more acquainted with other neighbors, making for a very positive process and end result. Many helpful community members provided valuable input for the design of the improvements. This neighborhood green space improvement project was part of the City of Sioux Falls Neighborhood Project Grant Program, with the Neighborhood Association covering the project costs in excess of the grant funds. The Pettigrew Heights Neighborhood Association's nomination for this award is well justified due to the extent of the improvement of the area, the geographic size of the area improved, and the dedication, careful planning, and hard work of the many neighborhood members toward making the Pettigrew Heights neighborhood a beautiful place to live. With its location along the western gateway to downtown Sioux Falls, this beautification project has not only impacted neighborhood members, but also those traveling through and visiting the core of the city. Thank you, Pettigrew Heights Neighbor Association, for making Sioux Falls beautiful.
I'd like to thank everybody. There's no doubt about it. The Mayor's Awards, Beautification Awards, is a primary example of our citizens working together throughout our community, and I'd like to thank all of you for all the good work that you did, and thank you, Russ, for helping to spearhead this. This is one of the best parts of the whole night as far as I'm concerned. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Now we'll move on to the agenda. The consent agenda is before us. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second on the consent agenda. Roll call, please.
Yeah.
Oops. I'm sorry, Kermit.
Yeah, I
You
was
have
just
to
going
bear
to-
with me here.
Oh, that's okay. You're doing a good job. in
Oh,
a
thank
way.
you.
Yes. I'd like to pull one item from the consent calendar, arena building improvements / parking lots, $84,110.
Okay, thank you. And we will deal with this right before we get into item 5 on the regular agenda. So we have pulled one item. Roll call vote, please. Am I correct? Thank you.
Councilmember Staggers,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes?
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jameson,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Okay, consent agenda has been approved. Let's see. Could we have a move to approve the regular agenda, please?
So moved, Rolfing. Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the regular agenda. Are there any comments on the agenda? There being none, roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Staggers,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Entenmann,
Yes?
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jameson,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Okay, this is an opportunity for the citizens of Sioux Falls that are here before this body to come up and give us some public input. And as always, we ask you to keep your comments to 5 minutes, please. Is there anybody that would like to come before this body? Mark Lee, please. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Enneman. My name is Mark Lee with the Sioux Falls Area Chamber of Commerce. On October 23rd, the Chamber Board met and saw fit to pass a resolution of commendation toward the city, and I would like to kind of read that into the record tonight. A resolution of the Sioux Falls Area Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors commending the state of South Dakota and the city of Sioux Falls on their partnership to build and maintain South Dakota 100. Whereas a safe, efficient, and responsive transportation infrastructure is critical to economic development and business commerce in Sioux Falls, and whereas the growth of Sioux Falls has created demand for new solutions for moving vehicular traffic on the east and south sides of the city And whereas the highway project, known as South Dakota 100, will serve to improve traffic flow, shorten commute times, improve safety, and support the expansion of commerce. And whereas the State of South Dakota and the City of Sioux Falls have entered into an agreement for a project to construct and maintain a significant portion of South Dakota 100 that will extend from Interstate 90 south to Madison Street and will essentially complete the north-south section of South Dakota 100. And whereas this project will be completed in 3 segments, with the final segment connecting to Interstate 90 for a total estimated project cost of $56.7 million. And whereas after the completion of the construction project, the City of Sioux Falls will assume ownership, responsibility, and control for those portions of South Dakota 100 that are not completed. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Sioux Falls Area Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors commends the State of South Dakota and the City of Sioux Falls for their partnership and their commitment to construct and maintain a critical infrastructure project known as South Dakota 100 that will stimulate community growth and economic development, establish an important vehicular traffic corridor, shorten commute times, and improve traffic safety. This resolution is signed by our current board chair, Keith Severson, and the president and CEO of the Chamber of Commerce, Evan Nolte, who is also here. And if I will, Councilor Anterman, I would say that while this is done after the fact, and it really is nothing more than a commendation and a thank you, it gives you a sense of the importance that this board places on infrastructure development in our community and the importance of this particular project. So if nothing else, we wanted to say thank you for taking this step and for making this one step closer to reality and helping to grow and develop the community of Sioux Falls. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you to the Chamber, too. Thank you. Is there anybody else to come before here?
Good evening, Council, and sitting in for the mayor. Your name? I know you, Jim. I'm I.L. Weigerman from Sioux Falls. I've been missing quite a few meetings because we were trying to figure out who has been following my phone and following me to my home. I've moved, got a new numbers. Since that happened, I've had no harassing phone calls, no anonymous phone calls, and nobody has followed me. The federal government's involved in searching this out to figure out who it was. And I'm putting anybody on notice that's involved in it to take heed because you will be found. Another thing is, it was brought to my attention that the mayor of this great city is using Channel 16 for election purposes. On November 2nd, after he filed papers to run for mayor, there was about 6 or 7 different instances where he over and over and over again said he was dedicating himself to be the mayor and run for another term. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Whedon. Is there anybody else that would like to come before this council? Okay, thank you very much. The next item on the agenda is the one that Kermit asked us to reconsider, and that was dealing the arena building improvements parking lot, amendment to agreement for the engineering services for $84,110. Councilor Staggers, please.
Yes, we've talked about this a little bit before, and we did get some explanation, but I guess I'm still concerned about the title of this. It's arena building improvements. I don't know, it seems, maybe I'm wrong on this, but it seems more appropriate to call it events building improvements. So if you could further explain, and also exactly where the parking lots are being improved, which ones?
Very good. Thank you, Council. Mark Cotter with the Office of Public Works. Tonight we've got a graphic in front of you. Tracy Turbeck is normally the liaison between the city and the Arena Convention Center and the Event Center, but since I have an item on the agenda tonight, I said I would attempt to answer your questions. The graphic that's in front of you is the parking lot that would be affected by this project. The areas in green are essentially, they're scoped to mill and then overlay. And then the parking lots that are in blue are programmed for a slurry seal or similar to a microsurfacing. A number of these parking lots are approaching 20 years of age and are in need of maintenance. I really believe that this is the strength of having a good capital plan. The capital plan that was brought before you, which would have been about mid-year of 2011, had this programmed in it, and then it's just naturally worked its way forward in it. I do have the three respective sheets, if you have that. Jason just handed out to kind of walk you through this. If you turn to the last page, and the area that's highlighted is the area I just was drawing attention to. In 2015, we had this project programmed in for $1.233 million, and that was for the program that you would have seen and acted on in 2011 that set out the 2012 to 2016 plan. Okay. And then if you go to the next page forward, just with the condition of the lots and the necessity to address them, we moved that program from 2015 up to 2014. Same dollar amount is in that capital plan. And then the last and the top sheet, that's the current plan that you've recently acted on. That's the 2014 to 2018 program. And the area that's highlighted is, again, $1.293 million. And so that's been the funding track for this project. Ultimately, certainly before the event center was planned in this area, there was always a need to make sure we address the parking needs. It's just like on streets, you want to make sure you invest in your streets, the good streets first, so you can maximize their life. Same thing here. One of the areas that I would like to draw your attention to is this area here in white. If you see all those parking stalls and even this entrance road, those are essentially where the curb and gutter is changing on the site for the event center, and those costs are captured in the event center project. Same with project and road on this site. Anywhere where we actually changed where the curb and gutter is or parking lot islands, those costs ultimately go into the event center project of $117 million. The other areas, these are essentially maintenance job projects. They're again approaching nearly 20 years, and it's important that we invest in them. Tracy wanted me to also highlight that the funding for these improvements does come from the entertainment tax. And then just one anecdotal note before you potentially have questions is, many people ask me, what is the plan for the arena? And in many cases, I just say the city council still continues to invest in the arena. It's still a very viable building for the city. Just recently, new center hung scoreboards went in. In this capital plan, which you have the top sheet, there's plans for HVAC upgrades. Buildings of this age, you start to reinvest into the plumbing structures. And so there's been a number of investments that are planned, and that's typically been my answer. I think the timing now just works out very good with this arena project and the event center project. We're going to be able to really re-baseline all that pavement out there for the same life and ultimately be able to manage it and extend its life. So if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Thank you. Councilor Staggers, please.
Yeah, you mentioned, Mark, that the city council approved new spending on the arena, but we really don't know what we're going to do with it yet. Is that a fair statement that I just made, or do you actually have some idea what we're going to do with the arena?
Well, I think that's certainly one of the facilities that SMG manages. Clearly, it's a busy facility today and will be into the future. And then just to mention this top sheet, this is in your current capital plan that will go into effect in 2014 and go through 2018. HVAC chiller system replacement and miscellaneous electrical improvements. And then there's a project that's also identified replace lower level seats and risers. So, ultimately, it's structurally, it's a very good building. There's a lot of need for that facility, and it's important to keep investing in it.
but we still don't really know what we're going to do with it. Is that a fair statement? As of now, I mean,
No, I think it's probably more appropriate to have SMG at some point in time, if you're interested in that, actually respond to, the type of events and the frequency of events that will go into it. But, I mean, they certainly, they've been marketing it, and it's a very busy place.
okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are there
Any
any
other
other questions
questions?
for Mark at this time?
Move to approve, Karski. Second, Anderson.
There's been a motion and a second by Anderson to approve. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Staggers?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Entenmann?
Yes.
Urkenbach?
Yes.
Jameson?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
That motion passed unanimously. We'll move on to item 5.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, declaring certain real property of the city surplus and authorizing the disposition thereof.
Welcome, Chad.
Good evening, Chad Heavey with the Engineering Division of Public Works. Back in 2010, we reconstructed 57th Street from Minnesota Avenue over to Pembroke Avenue. During the project, we purchased property near the intersection of Heatherwood Circle and realigned the intersection of 57th Street and Wildwood Circle and Heatherwood Circle. Now that the project is complete, the city no longer needs that remaining land, and tonight is the second reading to declare this property surplus. The property we are wanting to surplus is .52 acres and has been appraised for $35,000. The property will be sold by sealed bid, and then we will bring that potential purchase back for your approval once the bids have been received.
Thank you. This is a second reading, so this is a time and an opportunity for the public to come forward and speak on this issue if they'd like. Is there any comments from the public on this? There being none, Councilor Karski.
Chad, this is zoned residential, correct?
Yes.
Can it be built on?
No.
Thank you.
Move for approval, Anderson.
Second, Urkenbach.
Anderson made the motion. Urkenbach second. Could we have a roll call vote, please?
Councilmember Staggers?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Entenmann?
Yes?
Urkenbach?
Yes.
Jameson?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Okay, that passed unanimously. We'll move on to item number 6.
Second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, approving the exchange of real property.
Welcome, Mark.
Hello again, council members. Mark Cotter with the Office of Public Works. This item is the second reading. Today, the blue parcels that are on the map in front of you are owned by the city, and the yellow parcel is owned by the Sioux Falls Development Foundation. This action would conduct an exchange of these parcels, so the 40.2 acres of city land would be exchanged for just over 20 acres of the Sioux Falls Development Foundation land, and then to make up the gap in value, the Sioux Falls Development Foundation would be writing the city a check for $369,000. This really allows them to reach full capacity of that industrial park. And now with the extension and build of this new road that's shown in green, that we were successful teaming with them to get a grant for half the project cost, it's appropriate to put it in their hands so they can further market it for industrial uses, and we would ask for your support.
Thank you, Director Cotter. This is the second reading, and again, this is the opportunity for anybody that wants to comment on this issue. Please come forward. Okay, Council, it's in your hands.
Move to approve?
Second, Rolfing.
Councilor Anderson, please.
Question for Mr. Cotter. When we put this road in through that piece of property, how is that going to affect the Development Foundation? Are they going to have to pay for that roadway?
They would be an abutting property owner. Anyone that fronts that would pay their assessment value. That's the other reason we're motivated to conduct this exchange, because they're in the development business, we're not.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Okay, there's been a motion by Karski, second by Rolfing. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Staggers,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes?
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Okay, item number 7, and this is the first reading.
First reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the Code of Ordinances of said city by rezoning property 1 mile west of the West 41st Street and T. Ellis Road intersection from the revised Resurrection Church Plan Development District to the A1 Agricultural District.
Jason Bieber, representing the Planning Department tonight. This is a request from the Sioux Falls Catholic Diocese to rezone approximately 120 acres from the revised Resurrection Church Plan Development District back to the A1 Agricultural District. It's located roughly 1 mile west of the T. Ellis Road on 41st Street, and the Catholic Diocese is indicating that they no longer are going to use this property for a church and cemetery, and funeral home, and they would now like to sell it.
Great. Thank you very much. This is the first reading, and as such, there is no public input on this until the second reading, but I'll leave it up to the council. Are there any questions?
Move to set the hearing date as noted on the agenda.
Second.
Thank you very much. Councilor Erpenbach made the motion. Councilor Karski seconded. And this is to approve the hearing date of the second reading for Tuesday, November 26. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Staggers,
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes?
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Great, and that did pass unanimously. We'll move on to item number 8.
A resolution approving the release of permanent easements located in Lot 2A of Block 3, Judy Estates, addition to the City of Sioux Falls, Lincoln County, South Dakota.
Welcome, Chad.
Good evening again. These permanent utility roadway and sidewalk easements are north and east of 69th Street and Cliff Avenue. These easements do not contain any public utilities or private utilities and are no longer needed. The property owner is going to develop this area and has requested these easements be released. New easements will be created once the area is platted, and engineering recommends approval.
Thank you, Chad. And this is a resolution, and so there is an opportunity here for the public to give any input onto this before the council votes on it. Is there any questions or any comments? There being none, I'll move this to the council. Councilor Rolfing?
Chad, what's planned on going in there? What are they looking at, more apartments or?
I think it's going to be, I'd say, twin homes or maybe fourplexes, but I know the issue's been before you.
Are zoned R2?
I'm assuming so.
Okay.
Move for approval, Anderson.
I'll second that, Rolfing.
Okay, there's a motion to approve the resolution by Anderson, second by Rolfing. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Staggers?
Yes.
Aguilar,
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Intiman,
Yes,
Erpenbach,
Yes.
Jamison,
Yes.
Karski,
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
and that passed unanimously. Mr. Mayor, it's my pleasure to turn this over to you. Thank you, Mike.
Council Chair Intiman, thank you so much. Item number 9.
A resolution approving the release of permanent easements located in vacated West 19th Street between South Menlo Avenue and South Grange Avenue, lying south of Block 8 of Park Addition to Sioux Falls and lying north of Block 9 of Park Addition to Sioux Falls, Minnehaha County, South Dakota.
This easement is located near Sanford Hospital. The permanent easement, it is in the vacated 19th Street between Grange Avenue and Menlo Avenue. This right-of-way was vacated in 2008, and at that time, we retained a utility easement. Since then, the sanitary sewer line that was in there has been relocated, and so now the easement is no longer needed. And the plan is to construct a hotel here, and engineering recommends approval.
Chad, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who wanted to speak to this item? Council?
Move for approval, Anderson.
Second, Jamison.
Counselor Anderson Jr. has made a motion to approve this item, seconded by Counselor Jamison. Is there any discussion?
Yeah,
Yes, Counselor Staggers.
yeah, Chad, do you know if they're already building that hotel right now? I've seen construction.
I believe they've started. I don't know at what stage they're at, though.
Oh, okay. Is this normal for a company or a business or any other entity to start doing something like this without having this approval?
That's a good question. I don't know. It is their property, and I guess that's something I can't answer.
Still our easement, though, at this point in time.
Right, we still
yes.
retain the easement. But I don't know what stage of construction they're in yet, so I couldn't answer that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Counselor?
Yeah, or Counselor Staggers, is that on the north or south end that they're going to build the hotel?
I haven't seen the site plan. I would assume it's probably over all of it.
Yeah, but part of it's still going to be a parking lot, I'm assuming, for guests, et cetera. And so, I would see a problem there if they were building right on top of the easement, but before the easement was granted. So I'm just wondering if it was north or south.
And I can't tell you. I'm sorry.
Anybody know?
The proposed hotel is south of that easement. Where that's showing there is going to be part of their parking lot.
Counselors, thank you. A roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Staggers?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Intiman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 8-0. Item 10.
A resolution amending the 2013-2017 capital program.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. Mark Cotter with the Office of Public Works. This item essentially amends the 2013 to 2017 capital plan to put it to work the dollars from the sale of the exchange that you just approved on item number 6. And so it will go into the Water Reclamation Fund for those use.
Thank you, Mark. Would anybody want to speak to this item? Council?
Move for approval, Anderson.
Second, Intiman.
Counselor Anderson Jr. has made a motion to approve this item. It was seconded by Counselor Intiman. If there is no discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Staggers?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Intiman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 8-0. Item 11.
A resolution establishing a pay-for performance program for the city council appointed positions of budget analyst, city clerk, internal auditor, internal audit manager, and the legislative operations manager.
Good evening, Jim David, City Council staff. This item is the annual resolution that incorporates the 3% cost of living adjustment that was approved for the collective bargaining units, mid-managers, and appointed directors. And the ranges are actually listed on the resolution. So happy to entertain any of your questions.
Jim, thank you. Is there anyone who wanted to speak to this item? Council, any questions or comments, motions?
Move to approve, Erpenbach.
Second, Karski.
Councilor Erpenbach's made a motion to approve item 11, seconded by Councilor Karski. If there is no discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Staggers?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Intiman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 8-0. Item 12.
A resolution amending the City of Sioux Falls general conditions for public improvements.
Mark and I need to quit going back to back here. I always have to raise this. Chad Hebe with the Engineering Division of Public Works. The city's general conditions for public improvements are the conditions we follow to bid and construct. They include requirements for bidding, award and execution of the contract, the scope of work, the control of work and materials, the specifications and responsibility to the public, the schedule and progress, and finally measurement and payment. These were last revised in 2010. These proposed changes have been presented to the Sioux Falls Contractors Association, and they have endorsed the changes. It's also been approved by the Infrastructure Review Advisory Board. These proposed revisions were also presented to the Land Use Committee on October 15th, and they supported bringing the proposed changes to the full council. There's a lot of housekeeping items, and we are making some revisions based on changes to state laws. We are making some revisions to reflect current practices. We have added the website location where bid tabulations can be viewed. We have added language regarding the city's appeal process. We have added language and a table of expected adverse weather days a contractor should expect in this area. And for example, on that, this table was developed by the South Dakota Department of Transportation, and we've been following this for some time, but now we want to put this in our document. And so if a contractor is working on a grading and utility project, let's say in Sioux Falls, they should expect 8 adverse weather days in June. So if we get done with the month of June and there's been 10 adverse weather days where they couldn't work, they should expect 8, so they would be entitled to ask for 2 additional days. So there's been a lot of research done, and the DOT has different tables for different areas in the state. And so nothing new, we're just adding it into our document. And then finally, we are adding a schedule of liquidated damages. Once again, this was developed by the Department of Transportation. We've been following it for years. We just want to put it into our document. And as the value of the contractor gets larger, the value of the liquidated damages charged per day also increases. So with that, I would entertain any questions.
Council, any questions of Chan? Yes, Councilor Karski.
Just curious why we're taking it from procedure into resolution. Why do we need to put the liquidated damages? If we've been doing it one way, why the need for the change?
I think it's important that they're in here. This is really the document when we sign a contract with the contractor, when they enter into the agreement, we enter into the agreement. This is really these are the conditions that we're all entering into. And I know we've always in the past just referenced these in the South Dakota state standards, but I think it's important that these are actually in our document. You don't have to go to another document and look for, everything's included right in one document.
So will we be updating this yearly if those standards change? Do we see those change very often?
If they would change, we would have to update this as well.
Thank you.
Council, any motions?
Move to approve, Jamison.
Second, Entenmann. Councilor Jamison's made a motion to approve item 12, seconded by Councilor Rolfing. If there is no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Staggers?
Yes.
Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Entenmann?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
Yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Thank you. That is passed 8-0. Council, is there any other discussion? I did want to recognize, it looks like we have 4 students from University of Sioux Falls, the COO. You're here learning about government, obviously, and we'd like to welcome you. Council, any other comments?
Move to adjourn.
Councilor Anderson Jr. would like to end this meeting, and it has been seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, Sioux Falls. Make it a great night.